just a boy. Christmas brought so much joy. Couldn't wait for the presents and laughter. I couldn't sleep late at night, looking for Santa with lights. Those are the memories I still remember. Then I became a man, lost sight of who I am, but right in front of me was the answer. 'Cause on Christmas I feel joy, and I turn back to a boy. The answer is to stay young forever. This is not a Christmas, this is not a Christmas song, this is not a Christmas, this is not a Christmas song, this is not a Christmas, this is not a Christmas song, this is not a Christmas, this is not a Christmas song.
Hello, Star Wars fans. You know there's just 265 days until Christmas 2023. You know what that means, right? Means it's been 100 days since the last Christmas. Oh, yeah, math. 265, 360. Anyway, 100 days. How about that? We're 100 days past Christmas today, and this is the week of celebration. My friend Star Wars Meg is doing her pre-celebration preparation. She's meeting with people. She's excited. She's having a great time, living the good life over in London. And here's my friend Jason Ward. Hey, Jason, how you doing today?
I'm all right. No, I'm kidding. How's it going, guys?
Hey, it's going pretty well. And you know this, but they don't. My computer just came back, like literally, like minutes ago.
Oh, and then he dropped it. I heard it. It's like, it was like that sound effect of the clay pots like breaking. That's what it sounded like. I'm not even joking. It literally sounded like clay pots breaking.
I was coming down. I came down the steps. I'm holding the box with the handle, and I get down to the bottom step, and I'm getting ready to set it over on the carpet, and boom. So fortunately, it only fell like 4 inches, and it's in styrofoam and all that. I'm sure it went through worse in the FedEx facility way before it got to my house. So
probably
should be fine. So hopefully, I can get that computer set up, and we can get back to kind of normal. And you guys won't see the blue wall back here anymore. And my Ray shrine that's up there. That's what Baymax likes to call my Ray shrine.
The Ray shrine.
Yeah. And then so anyway, here we are. Yeah, they had to replace the CPU. So
I don't know what you were doing, but it was not good.
It's liquid cooled Alienware desktop computer. It's a big beefy computer, but
more stuff to go wrong. Probably.
Yeah, CPU went out. So there's that. Yeah, hey, there's Dawn. We got Dawn Basham, Brandon, and Mike, and Dawn, and Fitz, and
Mike. I saw Mike in there.
And David Gorlick. And
hey,
the Jedi Jen is there. Of course, Jedi Mike. He's always around as well, right? Fantastic.
I think David should be like a Mandalorian who's like you don't want to get sent to. Like they call him the Gorlick. We're going to send you to the Gorlick.
So the talented Mr. Griffin and Corlo Wren. Hey, I learned something about Corlo Wren. I reached out to, in the last live stream. I'm like, hey, Corlo, you won some stuff. Contact me. So he sent me an email. I sent him some merch. You should have the confirmation for that already, Corlo. And the merch should be on its way. And our other winners, I know that I saw yesterday, Sheev the Wise got his Star Wars Santa jacket, and some previous winners. We've got a good friend of ours who lives down in Florida, who is on his way, or he is in England now, and he has his Star Wars Santa merch too. That's a Matt Risman. So
old Risman's eating fish and chips, eh?
He's going to be representing Star Wars Santa over there. It's fantastic. Yeah,
nice.
Yeah, at the merch store, there's a jacket. There is. It's like a windbreaker kind of thing. So
Mhm.
all of that.
I'm wearing a Star Wars Santa flannel. You can't see it on the back.
Dawn says, "Did I miss a Zoom meeting?" No Zoom meeting today or this week. We'll do it next week, and it'll be right after celebration. So Monday next week, we will do the monthly Zoom meeting for our members. And you could be a Star Wars Santa member by joining here on YouTube
And pledging your allegiance to us.
or on Patreon. You could support the channel on Patreon or here. And there's even a new experimental thing on Discord where you can kind of join there. I haven't really publicized it because it's still very much in the initial phases. But in any of those ways that you'd like to support the channel, you can do so, and then you get an invite to a Zoom meeting where we come and hang out and we talk about stuff. And this coming Monday, we'll talk about Celebration and what happened there, and we'll all hang out. It'll be great.
And if me and Santa ever should become the presidents of Lucasfilm, we will personally make whatever Star Wars dream projects you have. That's our promise.
That's our promise.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. And Robert C. Clare, all those Buckeye football highlights of yesteryear mixed with my fan fiction adventure riding a dewback. No, not a dewback, Robert C. Clare. Everybody knows Santa wants a blurg. Santa just wants a blurg, right?
Mm-hmm.
Solving mysteries with Ray.
But is it fair to say a blurg is just a tiny-tailed dewback? Okay.
Kind of is.
Wait.
Kind of is.
A little bit.
Yeah. It's
a little bit.
It's like a Tyrannosaurus without the body. Right?
Yeah.
You just take the legs,
two,
you stick
two
the
legs
head, tail together, but that's it. So, right?
Yeah.
Kind of tiny little arms. Right?
It's why I used to watch the Ewok films. I think it was it Battle for Endor that had it? I think it was Battle for Endor that had them originally. Yeah. And like that's why like on these recent Mando episodes, when we watch them with like all the pirates put the mask on and stuff, I'm kind of into it because as a kid, like I said, I used to watch the Ewok movies, which aren't that good really, but just to see like the aliens and the blurgs and stuff. So I'm kind of like getting that in higher quality, and I'm not complaining about that.
Now that you mentioned that, from the Ewok Adventures, we've had the blurgs brought into animation. They've been in live action in the Mandalorian. The one thing I've not seen from that, first of all, are the phaser blaster pistols. So like they shoot, but they're like phasers from Star Trek, right? They shoot that solid beam out and they make things explode. They get really hot, they turn red, and then they explode, right? That's not a Star Wars thing, but it's in that movie. And then the other thing is there's a really tall monster beast in a cave. Yeah. We've not seen that either. Uh-oh. Jason be gone. Jason, where'd you go? Chilling in the basement. Hello. Good to see you. We'll see if Jason makes it back. Dawn, not seen any. You've not yet seen last week's episodes of either show. Both shows that must watch this week after today's viewing. Yes, you've got to get caught up. You got to get caught up. Yeah, the Gorak came and got Jason. He's been drug away. Somebody go rescue Jason. Oh, if Rob did it, Rob's fault. It's
there was no reason for that whatsoever. I'm sitting here and the screen just goes blank and I can see the background and I'm like, okay.
Yeah. Well, sketchcraft. Rob said he did it. He killed your stream.
Yeah.
You know, that's what you get for hanging out with Rob.
Yeah. Wasn't good enough with my main show. He's got to come over and then do the shows I guest on too.
I know. So, hey, we've got some speculating to do, some deduction, some fan math, and just some regular kind of deductive reasoning, right? With Mandalorian, season 3, episode 6 of 8, right? That means there's 3 episodes left tonight, and then 2 more. And we've yet to see the big bad guy for the entire season.
He's coming. He's coming.
You would hope.
I believe he's in the last 2 almost for sure, but I don't know if before that. I can't say for certain.
Well, see, that's what's killing me, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hey, Robin! I haven't seen Robin in a while. Good to see you again. Is Cara Dune dead? So, Screen Rant did a video where they suspect that one of those dead floaty people in the shuttle.
It's impossible. It's impossible. Those guys are all wearing the standard I'm a space cop outfits. It's not the same thing that she entered. So it wouldn't be the same outfit. So no, it's whatever you want it to be, I'd say. I mean, but just to be like it's just a theory that they had. So I'm not trying to like dog on it or anything like that. But it's like the outfit literally does not fit. Like what did she become? I can't remember. It's like special ops or something. She's not wearing the goofy helmet with the dumb white gloves and the stupid boots going, "Can I help you get to your space van?" She's not doing that. So I'm going to say she is probably okay.
Yeah, I think she's probably okay as well. That'd be my guess.
Yeah.
And that, of course, if you watch Mike Zero, and you know who doesn't, Mike Zero, most reliable, credible the news source of all Star Wars news in the universe, Mike Zero. He tells us that there's a secret plan to bring Cara Dune back, and that we're going to see Cara Dune cast by none other than the actress who shall not be mentioned. I don't know. I make that up. That she's going to make her way back. So she can't be dead and come back. So I don't know how you reconcile those two truths.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So I like to imagine that there's like an alternate universe where everything Mike Zero says is actually happening right now.
Oh,
and he's just like a Donnie Darko type figure that's like keyed into this multiverse and like just all an honest mistake.
I need that to be the case. I need that. Right. That's good. Well, in a parallel universe, it's true, Brandon. In a parallel universe, that's the thing is that, you know, you're not supposed to cross the streams. And the problem is that when you as a content creator, when you set up these live streams, it says which platform do you want to stream to? You want to stream to your YouTube channel? Which YouTube channel? You want to you want to stream to Facebook or live? The problem Mike Zero has is he's picked the wrong universe in his setup, right? He didn't pick the real universe. He picked the Mike Zero alternate universe, and that's been the problem.
There we go. That makes sense.
That's been the problem all along. But so fan mathing it, the big bad of the season, we know is got to be Moff Gideon. All right, got to be.
Sure. Yeah, I think he's like the existential threat to the plan.
Why even bring him up? I'm just joking. I'm in a weird mood, chilling in the basement. I just got my computer back, so I'm excited. So I'm just joking. I think we know Moff Gideon is back, right? We know he's loose. He's out on the. He's out. He's been broken free by some Mandalorians. And I think that's a big misdirect for people who don't follow all the things, right?
Yeah, it is, and it's like, did you see the article on Bespin Bulletin about his video? Like he had this cool video that was filmed in El Dorado Park, out by Long Beach, and in it you can see Cara Dune fighting Axe Woves. And Cara in Dune it, sorry, Bo-Katan. We said Cara Dune too many times for no reason. She's out. But Bo-Katan fighting Axe Woves, and in that video, you can see at one point she, I think, grabs an Imperial officer. She doesn't explicitly do it in the thing, but I could tell how they're shooting it. I believe she's like grabbing him and doing like the old Batman and Robin move, where you throw the bad guy into the other bad guy. So I think that's like, so he just runs at her at Axe Woves to like run into him. And there's actually another Imperial officer in behind an Imperial who appears to have her hands handcuffed. I think there's actually two. And so we're speculating, and Bespin is speculating primarily that this is his article, that Axe Woves wasn't at the end of The Mandalorian season 2, and that's what allowed him to be hired to break out Gideon, because otherwise he would have been one of the people who helped arrest Gideon. So of course you wouldn't hire the guy who arrested him to free him. That doesn't make any sense, really, unless you're a conspiracy nut. And so it's like, so that's probably because the actor kept saying, there's a good reason I won't be there, or there's a good reason I'm not there in season 2. And then
you may have a point. I still tend to think they're probably the Super Commando, the Moff Gideon loyalists that you gave us some artwork about, like
the Praetorian dudes.
No, not the Praetorian dudes.
Oh, the other ones. The
Moff
other ones.
Gideon Mandos.
Yeah.
You gave us some artwork on that. Let's see. We have the Making Star Wars here. Which, look at that.
It's right up.
Look at that.
I made it bigger. I made it bigger for you.
For his tiny font. You know,
I made it. It's big for you now. What are you doing? It's huge. I could read it on the mini screen. We need to get Santa. We need to get Santa some specs.
I'm just. Which one? Is it this article or this one? With the man, or is it?
No, it's actually like I think it's like its own. Keep going down. Keep going down. It's been a little while.
Blah blah. Here it is. Right?
Yeah.
Moff Gideon's troopers. So this is a Making Star Wars exclusive. Making Star Wars. And you've got some artwork here. Here's what you talk about, the Praetorians. Now we're not talking about those.
So how do you like that font, though? How do you like that font? Not that you don't have to read the article, but is that better? Is that better for the show?
Pretty good.
I optimized for YouTube, not the average reader.
It's pretty good.
All right.
You compare it to Bespin's. And look.
Oh, mine's bigger than Bespin's. I noticed that. Oh, you noticed it. Everybody's noticing it.
There you go. Yours is bigger than Bespin's. That's all you need to know. For these guys.
Yeah, right? I've seen this guy a couple of times, and each time I saw him, I jotted down a little bit of the detail, and this is sort of the amalgamation of that. So if he has like 5 things on his belt or something, I did it wrong. I'm not but this is a very close depiction of that guy.
Yeah, and this is why I keep bringing up these super troopers, right? Well, there was the proto armor, right, that became Boba Fett, and you guys see the similarity between this and that over there, right?
Yeah,
you guys can see that, very similar. So this is in Rebels. This kind of armor showed up with the Super Commandos. Imperial Super Commandos. They were Mandalorians who were loyal to the Empire. Now we've got these kind of guys over here, right over there. These guys seem to be like they're Moff Gideon loyalist Mandalorians. I think perhaps these guys broke Moff Gideon free, and since they are Mandalorians, this is the misdirect, right?
Yeah. What I found like really interesting about those guys too is I'm sort of torn, and like I wish I could like look at it again. The visor itself, I both get First Order Stormtrooper vibes from. Like I think it's like a First Order like top visor, but it goes down Mandalorian style. But every now and then it reminds me of the clone. I think the Phase 2 clone trooper, like how it gets a little bit more stormtroopery in that point. So maybe those characteristics are just shared, but I did feel like it was moving towards the First Order kind of thing. And when you have the Praetorians and stuff like that, I think we're seeing like this like Mando sect become the militant part that will be assimilated into the First Order, probably. Yeah.
So let's go look at this video here. On Bespin Bulletin. You guys can see that only 198 subscribers on his YouTube channel. They could do better than that. But anyway, he posts all his stuff on his
with that font, with that little font,
with that tiny little font.
I don't think so.
But this lady back here is the one that you're kind of. I think it's a lady. I don't know.
Yeah, she either has her hands on her belt like she's a boss, or she has her hands cuffed,
or she's handcuffed.
Yeah,
and you got to kind of pay attention to the dude that.
Other way, it's hot. No, I'm kidding.
Well, You got to pay attention to the dude that Katie grabs and throws in. Now this is at 0.25 speed, right? I slowed it down on the YouTube so that you can kind of follow it more.
We call that Santa speed over here. No, I'm kidding.
There's something going on behind this curtain.
Right? You know what? This is fake because they don't have little golf carts in Star Wars. That's how I know this is fake.
Definitely no golf carts in Star Wars. But they're filming, right? They've got a set and they're kind of getting ready. They're going to do this choreographed part, right? And so hold on. You'll see Katie and Axe Wolves come out here in just a moment. And like you said, this lady in the back, she's either got handcuffs on or something. She's looking to the side, and there's a big fight going on in front of her. And you kind of see
if this is what we here it's coming, right? You can see the Imperial on the right now.
Yeah, he's staging, right?
Yeah,
he's ready to get grabbed. And so they're doing their choreographed fight.
Yeah,
there she goes. She's duking it out with Axe Wolves. He's creeping into the side there to get
kicks her in the chest.
Kicked her in the chest. All right, now pay attention to the guy that she gets ready to grab. Is he handcuffed as well or no? Right, so he's free. They're straight down,
and she's like,
she grabs him, and he goes careening into. And
then they like, I think they do it again, but that's
essentially it.
Right.
So if this is going to happen, I think the speculation is that this might happen tonight.
Yeah, it should happen tonight because tonight's Bryce Dallas Howard's episode, and this is This is directed by Bryce Dallas Howard. Every now and then, directors will, like Bryce Dallas Howard may do a minute of a shot on another episode. That has happened in these things, but it's safe to say that's unlikely. So most likely this is in tonight's episode.
Yeah, Arya, what we mean is like this lady that's in the background, and you'll see her Bespin. She's right here, right behind this camera operator here, and this guy here, he looks Imperial. Right, you can see in my mouse. This guy looks Imperial. And then this guy here,
you see right here, and then right here, she really grabs him. Right, this is
the second take.
Wait, they're running.
She didn't grab him that time.
That guy was just like running past her. Yeah.
They're doing multiple takes, right? So they're getting slightly different camera angles and such. So that was a different take, but you can kind of see the Imperial type folks in the background of this shot, right? So is that Dave in the white cowboy hat? No, but I think you do see Dave in a dark cowboy hat right here, coming in from the right side, right here. That could be Dave.
No, it's not Dave.
No, that's a dude with a mask. Well, but he's giving direction, whatnot. I don't know.
Yeah.
So anyhow, I think we do have some Imperials. The shot's over. Katie and Axe Wolves they're kind of chatting, and we're getting ready to reset. So anyway, the presumption is that if this happens tonight, then it's like an Imperial dude over here. See this guy here?
Yeah.
So there you go. That's what I think we do see some Imperials. So that's what Bespin's kind of leaning into, saying, okay, what are these Imperials doing around with Axe Wolves? What's he hanging around with them for? Why?
Yeah. Well, and I think that like kind of becomes confusingly unforgiven. You really can't forgive that in a way. Like, so if Moff Gideon, like, here's what I'm wondering. What if Moff Gideon is a Mandalorian and he pulled the trigger on Mandalore? If he followed orders, because if that because that's the whole thing, is the Imperials should be their natural sworn enemies forever now. Billions of Mandalorians are killed by the Empire in that, like, atomic attack or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
And like, so, but if they did it to themselves and they're trying to how do they reconcile that? But I would imagine that it still siding with Imperials and stuff like that is going to be a sore spot for most of them. That will, I think, stop like a complete reunification of every single Mandalorian that exists because of that, for sure.
Unless they're just being lied to, right? Like, I don't want to bring real world politics in too much, but you can't help it. There are times where your tweet today, I retweeted out as well, because like this march towards imperialism is a theme throughout human history.
Yeah,
it always happens in every society throughout time.
Yeah.
And it's something that has to be purposely fought against. But you also see in the Russian-Ukrainian war that's going on right now, there are, if you listen to Putin, right? Putin. If you listen to him,
Putin,
he says, well, Ukrainians attacked us first. We just responded. Well, we didn't attack them. What are you talking about? No, it's not true. We didn't attack them. Fake news. Right? The rest of the world says, well, that's nonsense, right? Like, clearly Russia invaded Ukraine. That happened.
Yeah, Ukraine didn't invade Russia. Russia invaded Ukraine. It's
right, but Putin is saying, well, they attacked us. We're just defending ourselves. And that could be what goes on here as well, right? So you end up with the Empire saying, well, we didn't destroy Mandalore. They destroyed themselves. We didn't do it. It's fake. It's a lie.
Yeah, I mean, if you looked, if that was like, if it was like a Palpatine kind of idea, that sounds like a Palpatine smart idea. Get Moff Gideon to be the one who takes the planet down and disempowers it, then they can only have themselves to blame, and they could align with him, or they could die. And so that might be the story, but I'm not sure. And for all we know, it goes a different way. I mean, I know that sounds weird, but I mean, Gideon had the dark saber though, and like once he has that saber, like remember when Maul got it? All of the Mandalorians like, oh, we follow you now.
Yeah.
So did Maul become Mandalorian in that moment?
No,
is kind of the question. I mean, while he's assuming power, that is, and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, how does that system work? Because I would think so, since he's essentially Mandalore at that time. So I would almost imagine that Gideon was assuming the role of Mandalore when he had the dark saber, even though he probably shouldn't have it. Yeah. And so now that we're back to this, he's gonna have the helmet and stuff. And did he always have the helmet, or is this a product of getting saved by those Mandos? Did those Mandos be like, okay, you get to be one of us, or you're Moff Gideon, you're kind of wanted, and you got to put a helmet on when you're outside? And he's just like, okay, I'll wear my Mando helmet today, so nobody could arrest me.
Yeah,
I'm not Moff Gideon. I'm Charles DeLorean. They're like, oh, okay. I mean, right? I don't know. Star Wars logic.
Right. Well, it's just there's so many questions. So many questions.
Yeah.
And I think the misdirect is to think that it was the Night Owls or it was the Mandalorians that we know. Anybody that's watched Mandalorian season 1 and season 2, I think it's none of anybody you've seen up to this point through season 3.
You don't think that it was telling early on when she says they became mercenaries? Because that is the one that I think is so far every single episode that's given us something, it's come into play. He's done a good job in terms of the writing of that. When he like throws something out there, the episodes don't forget what they said previous episodes. And so that's what I keep going with. My team became mercenaries, and I think it might be that, but that's where I'm at with it. But we will see tonight. I'm going to see Mario at midnight, and it's gonna kill me because I can't wait to see Mario. But I'm also like going to be like, man, I got to go home and watch Mando.
So is this Concordia? That's the next question.
I think it's that planet with the grass dome from the right. Is that Concordia? I don't think so.
Maybe.
Yeah.
That's the assumption is that it could be Concordia. What else would it be? It could be something else entirely. We don't know.
Yeah.
Right? It's a grassy planet with the domes. You see Bo-Katan's ship coming in, so it's not like a flashback to Mandalore before Mandalore was destroyed.
Right.
Right. It can't be that. It's happening like in this time era, and it's not destroyed. So it's not Mandalore. What is it? It doesn't seem to be the moon or the planet that Bo-Katan was staying on.
Right.
Could it be where Din grew up? It doesn't seem to be that either from flashbacks we had of that. So, good question. Are we going to see Concordia tonight? I don't know. Is this the planet that we see, the grassy one with the domes? Maybe. This is.
I think that's what I think.
Yeah.
That's what I'm betting on. Yeah, because where else could you, why else would they be filming there of all places? Because like out there on the allot, it's kind of hard to like put like natural grass down. It's a lot of work when you could just go to this place right here. And but by the way, on a side note, if you want to show it, you can. You don't have to. I go to this park all the time. Like I was telling you, like this is like literally my park. It's ridiculous. And I'm sending it to you right now on Discord.
Okay.
And like there's this. Are you kidding me? It's saying that my picture is too big. No, it's not. It's from Instagram. Nitro.
So Dale's asking the important question because he needs to know if he can get the prediction question right. Are we going to see a new planet in live action for the first time? First time in live action. So it could have been in animation, could have been in a comic, could have been in a novel, but we've never seen it in live action. Dale needs his points. And so he wants to know, is it a new planet in live action? Are we going to see it tonight, next week? He needs to know these so he can get the points right. What would you say? New planet? New planet?
I think it's a new planet. I think it's the I think it's like where the other it's where the other Mandalorians went to live, who aren't in the cult and aren't with Bo. So I think it's like faction number 3, if you will.
And are they Imperial loyalists? That's why it's not destroyed and they're allowed to let them live.
That makes sense. I think.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, it makes sense. I mean, no, actually, no, I don't think that. I think that they were probably I think they were probably hired to save Moff Gideon. He did, and now I think maybe they're more like infested with Gideon.
So, there we go.
Gideonness.
You've got 2 theories. One is these are hired mercenaries who were hired by some vested parties to free Moff Gideon.
Right.
They're sort of neither here nor there, but you pay us, we'll do the job.
Right.
Group number 2, they're actually loyalists to Moff Gideon, and they look like the dudes from MakingStarWars.net.
Right. Yeah.
2 theories. Who is it? We shall find out.
Right. So like right across the away from that place right there is this place where I always go to. You could show the whole thing if you want to. It's cool.
Yeah,
but there's crazy stuff in there. This whole like nature center with all these like weird like turtles and stuff and like all these like crazy different kinds of trees and things like that. And every time when I was a little kid, I used to play Return of the Jedi in here like it was indoor. And you know what I mean? But it's like and I was like really surprised that they didn't use this place of all things in a Star Wars show. And I think that I'm wondering if we're going to see that though, if we're going to see this place used because there's a lot of weird, weird trees.
I got a picture of my kids hanging out on Concordia or whatever.
I got a picture of my kids from at the finale with the Death Troopers. I do. It's funny. I got lucky.
So Miss Sunflower asked, maybe it's Navarro. So the Mandalorians were offered a place down by the lava flats to be their new home. Would they have already built an entire city, dome city with grass and all that?
No, definitely not. I mean, like it's pretty clear that they got the tract of land, but their leader, the armorer, is essentially she's the intelligence behind the operation. She's like, this is cute, but this isn't the real deal.
Yeah,
this isn't.
Jordo, I agree with Jordo. Hiring Night Owl pulls attention away from the Imperial Super Commandos. I think they're going to reveal the Imperial Super Commandos, and that'll be who Freedom. And but why is she fighting Axe Wolves? Well, I can guess why she's fighting them, but why are there Imperials hanging around where Axe Wolf is and not necessarily handcuffed like prisoners of the Night Owls, right? Why would that be? What's going on there? I have no idea.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. And I think there's another story about the finale, right? And I saw Bespin posted a story today about it. We'll get to that in just a moment. There's supposed to be a big Mando battle, different factions of Mandos getting together, right? We're supposed to, at some point, see Christopher Lloyd. At some point, we're supposed to see all kinds of other stuff, right?
Yeah.
Where's the story about the finale? That's not my computer. I don't know.
No. Santa lives in a 7-Eleven, and there's a new customer.
Somebody wants a Slurpee.
Yeah. He'll be right back. He's got to get a big bite.
I think I saw it on YouTube. Actually, somebody was guessing about the finale, and we know the finale to some degree, right? Because Making Star Wars, you can go out to makingstarwars.net and you can read about what might happen in the finale, right?
Mostly, I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. there are stories from a lot of stories I had from when they were filming the finale of the show.
I'm trying to sell your site. Right?
Thank you. No, I appreciate it.
I'm trying.
Yeah.
So that look, you can find out some stuff about what's going to happen in the finale for the season on makingstarwars.net, and one of those things involves a great big fight between different kind of Mandalorians.
Yeah.
A bunch of different factions come in, and the story, as it was, and perhaps as it is that Bo-Katan will come in on the Mythosaur, and everybody decides, oh, okay.
Yeah. How it was explained to me was like a couple of different ways, but there was then there's like the Mythosaur fight, and then they're like, right. And so, and then when I put the story about the Mythosaur fight, they were not too happy about that over there. So that was like, so I was like, oh, like that's the story. But the thing about it is the Mythosaur fight may be from a certain point of view, is the
instead of Circle K.
Circle Slay. This is what happens when this guy just gets to sit there and think up things.
Now, Rob, just so you know, I told Jason he's allowed to share with you the permalink to join the show anytime you want. If he doesn't give it to you, it's not my fault you're not on the show. It's Jason's fault.
Hey, just tell me you want, I'll give it to you, Rob. But no, what I was going to say was, like, Bespin had that the fight is on an ice lake. And so when we put this all together, I started to think, and the fact that she didn't sock the Mythosaur in the eye when she saw it in that earlier episode, the Mythosaur fight may literally be her like getting on that thing and riding it through the ice lake to fight the bad guys at the end. It may not be she's beating the crap out of it, other than she's actually like taming it and mounting it. And then when we have like those little chicken things, those little birds getting taken, the quote foundlings that they got and stuff, I start to think, they're setting it up that these guys are going to be riding all kinds of like crazy mounts when they're not rocket packing. And so I'm starting to think that that's what the actual fight is. That's my theory based off of the disparate little tidbits I've been told.
Yeah. So it's very possible that Well, I mean, there's lots of things that are possible. I just kind of get back to what's going to happen tonight, right? Tonight, we expect this to see the actual footage from the Bestman Bulletin YouTube page, right?
It's going to be a fun experiment too, to see how we looked at that footage compared to what they do. And like how did we, is it going to be like a Rashomon effect kind of thing where we have all these different perspectives of the same thing, but when you see it in context, it's different. So we'll see, right? It's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to that.
Me too. I'm really excited to see how they splice that footage together and what's going on, and get the context for what are those Imperials doing around there. Mm-hmm. What's this big fight about? They don't seem to be particularly interested in fighting against Bo-Katan, nor Axe Wolves. If she's using them as like
the Imperials seem to be disarmed. I said, I think one's handcuffed. I think one doesn't have a weapon. And so it's like, what is going on there? And so like maybe she goes in there and she takes over the whole place, or takes them down, and then that's her. Like they're all lined up, and Axe Wolves needs to answer for what's happened, but it's more like the fight between them two at the end. I don't know.
Yeah. So the next question: will we see Moff Gideon tonight? We've heard him name dropped earlier in the Coruscant episode. We saw where he's escaped for sure in last week's episode. We have 3 episodes left. Will we get to at least see what he's up to tonight, even if he's not engaged in the battle? Are we going to find out what's going on with Moff Gideon in any context tonight?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, we still have like the stuff with the droid bar,
right?
We still have we still have what's her name, G68? Is that her name, G68? The Imperialist. We have her like doing that creepy look in that like cantina like place.
Yeah,
we still got that like sequence, so we know she's coming back. Yeah, there's still some stuff out there that we haven't seen too. So is
right. There's 3 storylines that could happen tonight. One is following Bo-Katan and what she's doing. Other is what's going on with Moff Gideon.
Right.
And the third is what are Din and Grogu doing? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Is it possible we could have an episode tonight that Din and Grogu aren't even in?
I would say it's always possible, but I don't think they're going to do that. I think like if you notice, they were just like using Grogu as like transitional fodder to like move in between sequences and stuff like that. Yeah. So I kind of think we might, but we got the droid bar thing, like I was saying, and we got that thing where I've heard that Grogu's in like in the IG mech, and I heard that, and then we saw all of the stuff now of IG-11 getting rebuilt, and then but we start the season with him like literally going to get IG-11 to like rebuild him for protection. But then now we have little Grogu kind of going in his Mando training, and I don't think he necessarily needs the nanny. I don't think that's necessarily like the Mando way, if you will. And so I wouldn't be surprised if they're right there with those droid guys, and those droid guys are going to be like, "Look, we could in its own story logic. Look, we can do this thing, but we need this other part. You need to go here to the droid bar to find out where to get the part."
Right. We have they're on Navarro. We have the Anzellans with the IG unit. All they need is one of those computer chips that's stuck out on a barge in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. Right?
Mm-hmm. Well, and we know that if they build the mech, they obviously don't get what they need to make IG sentient, or they don't trust him to be sentient, considering he did revert back to his original default programming and try to murder them like a few episodes ago. So I think there's going to be maybe a different part now that's going to be needed just to give Grogu the controls. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. So so we may not. Here's where I'm going with my predictions for tonight. Mando and Grogu are on the IG-11 mission.
Yeah, the path. We'll call it the IG path.
The IG path, right? They're going to go visit the droid bar, trying to find out about parts or whatever. We'll talk to the Anzellans against. We'll get a little, action there with telling Grogu, quit hugging the Anzellans. They don't like it. Stop. Right? Something like that. And then that'll be their story. That's it. I don't expect them to be in any action. I don't expect them to be doing any fighting. I don't expect them to be like anything else. I think that's their storyline for tonight.
Yeah.
Bo-Katan's going to go have a little fight with Axe Wolves.
Yeah.
Looking forward to that. And then I have no clue if we get to see Moff Gideon tonight or not. I hope so.
I don't really. I mean, I'm not saying we do or we don't, but I don't see why we should think that we do. Other than the fact that we're running out of episodes. But when we look at the past, when does that guy show up every time? Like, it shows up at the end of the seasons every time, like the very end. So I kind of, and which I also think is something that's fair. I think that's a fair criticism of the series. It's the fact that we don't really have a lot of character building with Gideon. We only have plot. He's just simply a plot device. He's a great actor, and he should be woven in throughout the seasons. Like we should have him coming. We should know what he's up to. We should have like some growth and the ominous fear that he's out there doing something, like whatever his plan is. It's like, oh, you don't know what the plan is, and it's like a secret. But it's like, you know what? The machinations of that plan would build Gideon into a better character and make it actually a better show. And I don't think they're going to do that. I don't think that's happening in this series ever now.
I was listening to your show yesterday, and Rob went and did some homework. Mm-hmm. You know, the last thing you need is an educated sketchcraft, right?
Yeah. What does he think he is?
I know. Quit reading. Just draw.
Come on, draw and make fart jokes. What do you think this is?
What are you going and educating yourself for?
School? Think this is school?
You're just supposed to be an artist. Just do that. No. He was actually some brilliant analysis yesterday. Mm-hmm. And I thought it was great. He talked a lot about the prequels, made me happy. Because anytime Rob is, bashing on the prequels, it makes Santa happy.
He wasn't bashing the prequels.
He was.
We were analyzing it. We were like, but my whole thing is those models can be used to say that something is wrong. But if you have the wrong protagonist, I think in the actual narrative of this one, the Mandalorian is plural. And in this this particular arc, Bo-Katan is our protagonist, just like Padme was the protagonist of one Star Wars film, The Phantom Menace.
Yeah. Like Will Morgan, Meta Egg says, the last thing we need is a prepared Rob. That's right. That's the last thing the world ever needs.
I like it better when he's like, I never watched that show. I don't know what you're talking about, but it's dumb. No.
He's really he did a good job yesterday. And I agree with you too. I think he's kind of missing the point, but as far as the Mandalorian goes, mm-hmm. but only to the degree, and I think he may be making the point by missing the point, is that they haven't told us it's Bo-Katan is the protagonist. They haven't made that clear. Anybody who's watched season 1 and 2,
they've shown us though, he's unconscious. She's the one who goes into the water and pulls up like that wasn't really his baptism. It was hers.
Don't make me defend Rob, Jason.
Okay, fine. Do it. I dare you. No, but it's like when we have these like TV shows though, even though they are usually poorly titled, like Cassian Andor, how much of the I mean, they could have called it Luthen if they wanted to. Yeah. Like, so it's like they're depending on the story being told, the actual protagonist can shift, even though because it's a series. So for the episode, for the arc, if you will. So I would expect that everybody by the end of the season will be like, I want Din arcs. That'll be like a thing, and then they'll like just cater to it because they kind of do. Yeah. They kind of do listen on this show. It is kind of like. It's a more pleasing show.
They've done a terrible job of naming series. Yeah, terrible. Like this Mando verse era should have a name, like the Clone Wars, right? Mm-hmm. The Mando verse era should have a name like the Clone Wars, whatever it is, right? Yeah. Name it that. Then episodes, and even like the Book of Boba Fett, and seasons can ebb and flow within that story arc that is say the Clone Wars, whatever that is, right? But that's not what they did.
Right.
They called it the Mandalorian for 2 seasons. They told us it was Din and Grogu.
Yeah.
And now people are like, this
well,
isn't the Din and Grogu show anymore.
Maybe after Thrawn, it'll get a thing like, you know, Thrawn's Invasion or Reign of Thrawn or something like that. You know what I mean? Who knows?
Yeah.
But I'm with you though. It would help knowing what shows go together and which ones don't and stuff like that, and just categorizing it.
Yeah, Shadow of the Empire or Echo or
because Filoniverse sounds stupid.
The Favroniverse.
Yeah, sounds is extra stupid. Extra stupid. It's stupid with the side of stupid. It reminds me of Chef Boyardee beefaronis, and I see like Jon Favreau like opening the can for me and going, I'm like, no.
I get the same. Can I get meatballs with my Favroni?
Yeah, right.
But yeah, if it had a name like Rise of the First Order, or the something that was just some sort of era that it fit in, the Clone Wars, the pre-First Order, the Shadow of the
Restoration of Mandalore, something.
Yeah, the New Republic, right? You could call it the New Republic era. And then all these shows fit into it. We're focusing on Mandalorian stuff, but if you have an episode in there that's all about what's going on in Coruscant, and, which brings another topic up, because another story that has been in the round is we're supposed to see Mon Mothma at some point.
Right.
When?
Well, you tell me, man. But I would guess what we're gonna have. Well, like once again, G68 is still out there. Elia Kane. Is it Elia? I don't know. Kane. G6. I'm gonna call her G68 because she's a weirdo. Elia. Yeah. G68. She's out there being a jerk. We have Carson, who just found the ship that should have had Gideon on it. So what's he going to do? Go, well, that's cool. I'll file a report. I think he might go back and like report to the higher ups. And then, so I wouldn't be surprised if that's maybe when we get like, maybe that's where she comes in. Like Gideon's alive.
Gideon. And what about the doctor? Is he alive? Is he dead? Is he just, vegetable oil sitting on the side?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, we are
our Favroni.
Excuse me. We don't really we have no idea to what extent Andor can talk to Mandalorian, because they were sort of going on around the same time, sort of being written at the same times. So they may talk to each other, they may not. But based off of what we have going on here, look at how Bix was in the aftermath of her interrogation with that device on her head. And if this is the same sort of thing, if it does generally like the same kind of thing, he will be out of it for some time. But I have a fun theory about that if it sort of is meant to kind of like push you back through trauma, but a little bit before, and then like kind of let you remember where you were to sort of pull yourself out of something, like, because that kind of seems to be like what it was sort of implying. If it does do that, then I'm wondering if her turning it up is actually gonna backfire, and he's gonna start coming through his memories as he comes back to consciousness, as he gets his memory back, and he's just gonna be sitting there blabbing to Carson and the people that will listen, and no one's going to believe what Crazy's saying over here. Oh, Crazy Bones got his talking crazy, but in reality, like, they're saying stuff that's making sense to them, and that might be what starts people like kind of like the resistance, sort of like something, because Carson knows something's wrong.
Till you fried my brain. Now I'm telling all the secrets.
No, I'm not saying he's even doing it like I'm gonna get those guys for what they did to me. I'm saying like he doesn't even know where he's at, but he's starting to remember, like, oh, on this day we were like, we were growing Snokes for the Emperor, or for the secret project. What secret project? For him, we're like a clone body, so he could retake it. Like, what? What are you talking about? Soulless body. We want to make soulless bodies. What? But I mean, but things that like, this isn't natural. This is super weird. And like, and because Carson knows there's a conspiracy. He just doesn't know what the conspiracy is. That's safe to say. Like he's very convinced in that last moment, I'd say. So anyways, yeah, he might be kind of what starts to get some of those guys thinking there's more to this than meets the eye, for sure.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of things with only 3 episodes left. Mon Mothma, Moff Gideon,
right?
The IG Mecha suit, the Mando War, Christopher Lloyd. Like, there's a ton of things still in queue, and we're running out of season. So I'm expecting a lot to happen in every episode, not just like chilling out.
But also, I mean, not Gideon. Gideon's going to be big. Gideon will have, his moment, obviously, but the other stuff, we don't know what the size of those moments are. We just don't know. So
so I'm telling you, Mon Mothma, there's undead stormtroopers and witches coming.
Yeah, for the New Republic, they're gonna get you guys.
They're coming. Yeah. We're going to get a one if by land, two if by sea kind of moment eventually, right? That's coming, and that's going to be super exciting for the Ahsoka show and for Mandalorian season 4. There's a lot of great stuff coming on. And so tonight,
and I just want to throw it out there too, that like, we don't know how far the second half of Ahsoka goes into this Mando 3 time. We don't know if it's parallel, if it goes right to it, if they coincide.
Yeah.
So there is a chance like the ending happens, and then like the ramifications of that series and what Carson's just found, all of this stuff is all coming together all at the same moment for the New Republic.
Yeah,
in the story.
Children in the basement gets it right. So with all the stuff, you virtually guarantee it. Yeah, 1 if by land, 2 if by snow, 3 if by snow, 1 if by land, 2 if by sea, 3 if by snow,
3 if by Snoke.
Sorry.
Let it snoke, let it snoke, let it snoke. You ever said that? You could add that one, bud. You could add that one.
Dale says, I don't that we are seeing Mon Mothma. That Meg was speculating Captain Carson Teva was talking about her something out there, and it'd be too late for you to that. Oh, okay. So Meg was speculating that Carson Teva was talking to Mon Mothma, could be talking to Mon Mothma. Now we know that's not the case. We also know that Mon Mothma is.
And remember what I said to you guys? Remember that day? I'm like, I didn't say Carson's talking to Mon Mothma. I didn't say that. You guys said that. And you guys are like, oh, come on, dummy. I'm like, I'm not saying that. And then I'm glad I was clear, because
we like to be funny. It is fun. But
it still may happen though. That still may be what actually happens though. I don't know.
Look, we believe Mon Mothma is going to be in Mandalorian season 3.
Mon Mothma was there. So she doesn't strike me as the kind of person the actor's like, I want to go visit the Mandalorian set, because she doesn't seem like that would be her thing.
Mon Mothma robes.
Yeah.
Whatever.
She just cosplays. She's like, I just like this dress. It's really good, really well done.
It is a nice dress. I mean,
yeah, it is.
Look hot and wearing this dress. I think I'll just wear it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's that.
I mean, in a show with Bix, if I'm checking you out in a show with Bix, you're doing it, Mothma. You're doing it.
Big Shaq is speculating episode 7 would be 47 minutes. If we get episode 6 is 44, then 47. It could be. I don't think the average New Republic pilot can walk up to Mon Mothma's office. But perhaps not. Perhaps not. Remember, he's not the average New Republic pilot.
He is a pilot who served in the rebellion with Mon Mothma. They probably used to hook up, Red. But I mean, think about it. They were probably just like, it's wartime. We're about the same age. We might die tomorrow. So anyways, but what I'm saying is, he's not. He might be like, they might pull the I have an old friend card. and then he might be able to go there. But I am with you. Like in actuality, you couldn't just go up to like, the chancellor's office. No, I got a concern. Like, that wouldn't be the case. But I think they would do something like that. Like,
yeah. Well, I'm going to change topics here. We're coming up on an hour, and there's a couple other stories that Bespin has published today that I'd like to at least touch base on. And I saw
that little tiny font. Can you read it? If you can't read it, I can call him. Let me know.
Teeny tiny font.
Yeah.
I don't know what's wrong with that guy. Why can't he make his font at least as big as Jason's?
I mean,
Come on. Yeah.
I mean, it's genetic.
Well, that's true.
Mm. The bad eyes, so you need the bigger font.
Yeah, I hear he wears extra small gloves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, little tiny hands.
I don't know what that means about his hands. I don't know. He wears the extra small gloves. Stephen Murphy, Lego has had some stuff leaked as well. They have a Fang fighter and a TIE fighter from the finale with a Mando fleet commander. Also set leaks for Ahsoka. There's a lot of things. Lego's hard to read too. Like, if you remember going back to the Book of Boba Fett, we saw a Monopoly board, and we made some deductions off of that Monopoly board that were complete nonsense. So
you guys learned nothing. Nothing.
Well, true. Yeah.
True. Wait, what else are we going to talk about? Kind of got to go with it.
So let's take a look here. We've got a couple. Andy Serkis is reportedly returning to Star Wars Andor season 2, and this happens because there is there's some pictures. There's photo evidence that seems to suggest.
Wait, no, there's no photo evidence.
Oh, I thought there was photo evidence.
No. That's the one thing, is that this is empirical evidence only from Perdidos and Hoth. But I also like it's worth mentioning that they were the ones who said that they were the first ones to say that the filming would even be there and stuff like that. So they've been on it. They don't strike me. I don't know them. I don't read Spanish Star Wars sites, but they don't strike me as like people that would just make up something. Like, I don't think they just made that up. So
they happen to be shooting a Star Wars show called Andor Season 2 near Valencia.
Andor Dos. That's what it's called in Spain.
And so happens that Andy Serkis is taking vacation with his family in Valencia while they're doing this. They have nothing to do with one another. Coincidence. Or
it's actually really sad. It keeps going. It keeps following the production going, did I have to drown? Can I not drown? Did I have to drown? I mean, what if I just doggy paddled a little bit?
So they are reporting that he's been spotted at various locations close to the City of Arts and Science, the location where production's filming. He's also been spotted at a location where stars of the series have been staying, and doesn't confirm he's in the season. He could just be visiting. He could be on vacation. He just likes to hang out there, and it's coincidental. Oh, yeah. Look, lucky me. Or Kino Loy could be in season 2 of.
Yeah, same thing with that other guy. That guy, Benjamin Bratt, I think is his name. The guy from Poker Face, the bad guy, like the guy who's hunting the protagonist of Poker Face. He's been there with him a bunch of times too. So I think it's safe to say he's in the show.
Yeah. Vacation. Yeah. That's just like somebody who's not playing Thrawn. I don't know anything about Thrawn. But nobody ever talked to me about Thrawn. Who's this Thrawn guy you talk about? I've never heard of it before.
Yeah. Don't know. Let me ask you this, if it's okay. Me and Bespin and I are very pessimistic. And when it comes to like Celebration, we were like friendly arguing about like, will they show Thrawn and Ezra at Celebration, or will they keep them a secret? With us, we know to the best of our knowledge that primarily Thrawn and Ezra aren't players until after around the 4th, 5, 6, 7, 8 episodes, and will they? And that the first 4 are like Republic business. There's been a lot of toy leaks, some stuff that we've come across in the last couple of months. And in those things, there's no Thrawn and Ezra in that stuff. So the merch seems to be keeping Thrawn and Ezra out of the purview. So do you think at Celebration they showed them, or do you think, because I think me and Bestman both agree it's a terrible idea, because you guys care, the people at Celebration care, and nobody else knows who an Ahsoka is, cares what a Thrawn is, or even has any idea who Ezra Bridger is at all for the most part. So like they don't realize that they have an uphill fight with all of these new characters that aren't brand recognizable things, unless you're in the Star Wars cult. Star Wars people, like, we need to understand that. In here, you could say Thrawn. You could say Thrawn's first name, and I'll be like, you nerd. But I'll know what you're talking about. If you go to the grocery store and you just say that, they will look at you like, what is your deal, bud? And so yeah. So do they hold Thrawn and Ezra back, or do they toss them in?
Well, you got a room. So you've got a cult gathering at a great big cult event with lots of cult loyalists. It's a perfect tee up to get the cult super excited.
And there won't be another Celebration until the next, so there's like reasons that they would do it, but they are sometimes so annoyingly stupid that I think they might think this is a good idea and like hold it all back, because it's the point is the quest for these guys. If that's truly the point.
Yeah.
And then you hide the point about like, what is the story of the show? Like, why do I want to watch? What's the plot? Like, why do I want to see this? Oh, because the girl's got tentacles and 2 white lightsabers. I will subscribe to Disney Plus and watch. Like, that's mental if that's what they think.
Right. Like, right. Some blue dude with glowy red eyes. Who cares? Right.
So,
right.
Well, like, no, but I mean, that's like, but that's going to be intriguing though. Like, oh, look at the bad guy. Like, look at who they're trying to find these people. Like, so if it's just like slow-mo shots of a pink Mandalorian going pew, 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 and like Ahsoka doing lightsabers. And then like, it's like, I'm curious to how they move forward with this, because I would hate to see Ahsoka do poorly when it sounds so intriguing,
Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to flip my coin, my pretend coin. Mm-hmm. And let's see. No revelation is Celebration.
Okay. All right. Santa said it. It is what it is now, guys. Sorry, it's not happening.
Well,
it's canon. It's canon.
Here's some of my reasoning for it is he's only going to be in the final couple of episodes. We'll get a couple of name drops before that. We may get a couple of little shots of him here or there, similar to season 3 of The Mandalorian and our big bad guy for the season. Yeah. There's been no sight, hide nor hair of Moff Gideon. We've had a couple of name drops. We got 3 episodes left. If we don't see him tonight, then that's par for the course. And I could totally see them doing that again for Ahsoka. Plus, there's going to be a media push leading up to Ahsoka, where they'll be on the Tonight Show, they'll be on Jimmy Kimmel, they'll be on whatever that show is over in London with the really funny host. Does a great job. Can't remember his name. It's a great show.
Piers Morgan.
No, not that guy.
Oh, okay.
The good one. Anyway, where all the stars go on, they get interviewed.
Benny Hill.
They hang out like on a couch kind of set,
and the music plays real fast, and they like run around in their underwear. No, oh no, okay,
no. Right. So, but anyway, they'll do all those rounds, and that's when you trot out your big stars. That's when you trot out your, you get Rosario Dawson, and you get Lars, and you get people going out and then saying, "Well, I thought you said you weren't in it." He says, "Ha ha, fooled you." I said, "No, you didn't."
Yeah,
we all knew. So that's what I think. I think they're going to say Graham Norton. That's it.
Graham Norton. Yeah.
Graham Norton show.
That's the one that Ewan was on a bunch of times.
Yeah, it's a really good show. It's a really good show. The guy does a great job. But yeah, that's what I think they'll do. I don't think they're going to do it at Celebration. They got plenty of other stuff they can talk about there without bringing them out and spoiling it. And they'll want to do it right before Ahsoka, when they send them all out on the press tours and the Today Show and the Graham Norton and the Tonight Show and the Jimmy Kimmel and the this and the that.
But when they do that, what they're selling needs to be intriguing to people that aren't playing a member berries game of I watched the Clone Wars when I was a kid. I'm very interested in how the Ahsoka thing plays out, because the Clone Wars, when it was on Cartoon Network, would get around 3 million views. Was like your average good show. I think it might have hit 4 at one point even, but I could be wrong about that. But it's like 3 million views. So that's like 3 million people who probably were either the hardcore still here Star Wars people, or they were kids who were really into it, who may watch the show out of nostalgia. But I don't know how much that carries over, because if you just look at the internet and Twitter, you get a very false representation of reality.
Yeah, 100%. Oh, 100%. Yeah. And I've got some thoughts about that I don't want to go into here. You and I, we can visit.
Yeah.
I've got some things in my head, but
sure.
So there's that. The other story I want to talk about is also here. So I've given my opinion about that, but the other one ties into what we're talking about in the Ahsoka show. And Bestman just published this today. Jason Syndulla rumored to feature in Star Wars Ahsoka. So Jason Syndulla, we would expect him to be hanging out with his mama.
Man, I want to see how they make this work, because that little kid looks. Hair. Yeah, I mean, like when I imagine the actor, if they matched it really closely, I almost imagine like a chimp with green hair, like little chimpanzee, like I'm Harrison. And then when I try to cast, I see the little chubby kid from the beginning of Jurassic Park.
I saw that.
Yeah, that's who I see whenever I imagine them doing it. I know they won't do it that way, but I'm like, how are they gonna make it look like? Is it just gonna look like a punk rocker? And you're like, he doesn't, and like, but he doesn't dye his hair. Just happens to have. Yeah. He looks like he was in Green Day. Just happenstance.
Yeah,
biologically.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
just a kid that has green hair. The end.
What?
Why is this dude got green hair? Because his mom is green.
His mom is green.
So the question really is, will he have a French accent? That's what I need to know. Because So
why is he in it? Is the big question. Like what does he have to do? Like when we see him in that sequence, like how old is he supposed to be? That's like 5 or 6 years after Return of the Jedi that we see that one sequence. So right. And then how old is that kid during Return of the Jedi? It's like a baby, right? Like a baby, probably, right?
I don't know the math on all of it.
I'm just trying to figure out like where the story may be at, and because if it's parallel to men, how old would the kid be, and does that give them a reason to not, because okay, so like we know that Hyung's in it. I think that's Huang. You say Hyung or Huang? I don't remember now. The lightsaber droid from the Clone Wars, who young Padawan would go to meet, and then he would help them make their lightsabers. That droid is there, and if that kid is here, then Hu Yang. Thank you. Then we end up with. I mean, it's not that complicated to put this together. And if those things, if A doesn't equal B in this kind of scenario, what you know what I mean? So I almost think that there may be something here with that.
Could be. I mean, it's the continuing of the Rebels show in live action, right? Remember back in the day, there was a rumor that said Dave Filoni has a project we're going to get another season of Rebels, and then there's a Rebels spinoff show. We're going to get it's an animation, and then Disney Plus happened. And they said, "Oh, the animated show has been canceled. It's now going to be a live action show featuring the Rebels crew." Well, now we've seen Zeb, and everybody's remembering, oh, this thing happened. And Hera is certainly going to happen. Ahsoka, Zeb, Chopper, the Ghost, we need that. And then Jason.
Me.
Right? Sabine. We know most of those pieces are already there.
Mm-hmm.
So it's happening. It's happening.
But all of that stuff was completely wrong. I mean, I'm just going to be honest with you. Like when that stuff was going around, I asked my sources, they're like, no, that's not a thing. Darth Maul show, no, that's not a thing. You know, so
yeah. But that's where this is coming from. A lot of it, right? It's just putting the pieces together, right?
Yeah.
So let's see what Bestman said. He said it's 5 years since a fan favorite. He spells it wrong with a U. You know, I don't know.
That's not American. That's downright un-American, I'd say.
Totally. You know, and Jason would know because he went to a ceremony right before the show.
Today, my son led the pledge at school, sang a song, so I'm like the most patriotic guy right now. Right now, that right there is not American.
See,
so
Jason,
I don't know what to say.
It's been 5 years since the Rebels aired its final episode on Disney XD. And during the finale, the series revealed that Ahsoka, Tano, and Sabine were setting off on a quest to find Ezra. Right? We've talked about that. We're going to see it in the same scene, like the midway point during the Ahsoka series, right? And all of that. At the end of Rebels, set up a future adventure for Tano and Ren, something that's followed up on the Mandalorian second season. My goodness. When he come on, Bestman. Report from Making Star Wars. We know the magistrate's constructing a ship to venture into the unknown galaxy to find Thrawn, and Ahsoka and Sabine will be heading to the same location to find Ezra. So
and like I have a question. I don't know. Do they stow away on that thing, or do they go there like with Hera and the Ghost or Ahsoka's ship? Do they just do it themselves? Right. Or do they just follow them, or it's
good question. I think
I still got big questions about the Ahsoka series on that on a lot of logistical moments.
Tell me about it. Last night I'm trying to go to sleep and Jason's like, "What about this? What about this? Oh, I think maybe what do you think about?" I'm like, "Jason, I'm trying to go to sleep."
Yeah.
No, there are questions. There are questions. It says fans of Rebels have hoped for a sequel series for some time. By all accounts, the Ahsoka live action series is a sequel they've been asking for. So the Rebel series finale introduced fans to Jason Syndulla, the offspring of the Twilight captain of the Ghost. That would be Hera Syndulla, right? And a human Jedi, Kanan Jarrus, who's dead, right? So daddy's dead. Mommy's raising the boy as a single mom. The later of which sacrificed his life to say this. Since Jason's reveal, fans have often asked and hoped to see more of the character, theorizing the child could be Force sensitive due to his father's connection to the Force. Even though it's not supposed to be genetic, it always is. And hope that he can learn the ways of the Jedi from Luke. However, since his reveal in Rebels, there's been little to no stories featuring the character. But if a new report's accurate, it could be about to change it. From Promo Bricks, Jason Syndulla is slated to feature in a Lego set based on the upcoming live-action Ahsoka series. Features the Ghost, a ship piloted by his mother Hera, who's also in the set, along with the astromech droid Chopper. So there you go. The Mon Calamari shipbuilder Quarry, and an unknown male character with dark skin. If it's accurate, then we should be seeing live action Jason Syndulla in the Ahsoka series. So what's the setup for it? Is he Force sensitive? What's Jason's story? Where are we going with it?
Well, there's like questions that I have. For instance, is he going to be in it like actually like a participant in a big kind of thing, or is it going to be like, are they going to remake some of that? Because we've seen moments from that epilogue to Rebels in live action already.
Yeah,
we know that we know about other ones too. So I'm like, are we going to get sort of maybe that redone kind of montage. And in that, could that be the live action Jason in that moment? And that's really kind of like but it was an excuse to do the Lego figure to give the kid something. Like it's possible. I don't think that's what's happening, but it seems like it's like that could be a scenario. Not saying it is, but it's a scenario I could see happening.
Yeah. A lot of exciting things, which leads us to sort of the final topic of the day. Celebrations coming up. You kind of mentioned before, will we get an announcement of the full Ahsoka cast? Will we see Thrawn announced? Will we walk out on the stage and get a trailer for Ahsoka, the series featuring Thrawn? Will we get to see that? Will we get Jason Syndulla? Will we see a scene with Hera and Jason in some sort of trailer footage? What might we get during Celebration coming up this weekend?
There's 3 ways of doing it. You don't do it. You just show the actors, headshot. This is Thrawn. Headshot. This is Ezra. Or you actually show them. So don't do it. Headshots or actual like footage or pictures from the show. So I hope they get, because if they get the fan base energized by showing them, that could permeate into the mainstream a little bit more, and people will be like, "Oh, this is a big deal." I know the Star Wars people say this is a big deal. I need to watch this. If they hold back, then it's like, well, it kind of just stays in the cult. Is what
And would they do this? I saw this from Arya, a teaser with Thrawn to the crowd, one without him to the public. Would they do something like a Thrawn partial reveal, no face? Like you see the white uniform, you see the blue hands sticking out.
Yeah.
But you don't get to see the rest of him.
Yeah, that's totally possible. I mean, a Thrawn tease. Would they do it? Sure. They might. But
because that's kind of punks they are over at Lucasfilm.
Right? Yeah. I mean, like, they're so weird. Like yesterday I was ranting about it. I'm like, they haven't told us what the Dial of Destiny is, yet it's going to premiere at cons next month. And the whole thing is going to be out. Every single detail. Yes. And they're still playing this sad piano Indiana Jones theme music and making it like, what's going on? I'm so confused. It's like, what's up? What are you doing? What do you like? You could do that when you have The Force Awakens. You can do that when you have The Phantom Menace. When we've waited like a long time for something, but but that's Star Wars. That's Indiana Jones and everything else. You need to sell it. You need to sell your movies. You need to sell your shows.
And I keep saying this, like, I'm not a marketing genius, right? I'm not somebody with a marketing degree. I've not taken a single marketing course, but like just dumb fan person can say, you're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong. Please go hire a marketing professional who knows what they're doing and give them the reins and let them do this. Because you can hire dummies like Jason or me or
do that. Give us money. Give us lots of money.
Please do. We're available for hire. You could get both of us for
we'll consult. We'll tell you where you're dumb. We'll tell you where you're good.
And we know Rob Sketchcraft, and when he does his homework, then he's a dangerous commodity as well. So he knows a thing or two about marketing. But just saying, like they're not doing a good job overall, and you lead it to fans to release. What was the comment here? A 240. What was it? I gotta go back up. Here it is. Can't wait for that 240p quality leak video of Thrawn. With fans cheering and lightsabers waving in front of the screen, like all kinds of nonsense and hooping and hollering and camera shaking, and we're like somebody's head goes across in the middle. Like that's what we're gonna get. That's what's gonna happen. Mm-hmm. Makes me crazy. Makes me crazy.
Same.
It's terrible. But our friend Megan lives over near this whole soiree.
What? Wait, is that why she don't talk American?
It is. Our American expert here. You're keen on these. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
A lot just clicked in right now when you said that.
She's doing a meet and greet today. She's going to talk to some folks. I think she might be meeting Matt Risman, if I were to guess. I think because Matt told me he's headed over and he's taking. Anyway, we've chatted. I think Meg is meeting Matt today. That would be my guess. But anyway, it's going to be exciting. Meg's going to give us some Star Wars Celebration previews and stuff on Meg's Cantina. So if you subscribe to Star Wars Meg, you're one of her supporters. You get exclusive content on Meg's other channel that doesn't have public access, and you can watch like a show with Jason Ward, or you can see her and our friend Sheev the Wise, or you'll see her do some exclusive celebration footage. And she's going to start publishing those very soon. I saw her post on Discord earlier that she's going to start providing some celebration coverage on her other channel. So you should follow that. And we have a Mike Porter dad joke. That's what we're here for. You guys have waited. It's time to give you your Mike Porter dad joke. I made a slight alteration to the Mike Porter dad joke. So this is, if you want the real Mike Porter dad joke, you need to go to Mike Porter's Twitter page. And the link to Mike Porter's Twitter page, because he's impossible to find. Like if you search Mike Porter, you'll get like 5,000 of them. And you have to try to find out which one is the Mike Porter. But you can bypass that. Just go to the description of this video and find the link to the Mike Porter Twitter page and go follow it. And you can see the real Mike Porter dad joke, not the one that Santa butchered. But anyway, this is the Mike Porter dad joke of the day. Did you know the High Magistrate of Navarro has his own clothing line?
Are they boxer griefs?
Oh, you went the wrong direction.
Okay.
Yeah. His Karga pants are bestsellers.
Karga pants.
Karga pants. You know,
Karga pants.
If you're on Navarro, you're not wearing Karga pants. What are you doing? What are you? How's it going, Mike? You did a great job. You did a great job. That pretty well wraps it up for the day. I'm hungry. I'm ready for lunch.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna go to Alabama and kiss my sister now. That's what I'm gonna do.
I'll see you guys
later. Oh, heck yeah! That's why I like Star Wars over here. Ooh, it's totally cold over here in this echo chamber.
You're gonna hang out with Rob a little bit.
I am.
Make fun of me. That kind of stuff.
I am. He's gonna be like, I'm so smart. I do my homework. Look at me, tapey, taking notes.
Don't you hate it? I know.
Like,
I hate.
It's like, you know what? It's like he puts glasses on and he thinks he's smarter than me. And
when he does his homework and then he comes in all researched and stuff and thinks that he's right and then makes good points, it's just annoying.
Wait a minute, Will Morgan. You're my sister, Will. What's your problem? Just gonna come give you some mouth, no kisses. Come on, sis.
Oh my goodness. All right. Well, thanks for hanging out with us. And go hang out with Jason and Rob in a little bit over on the MakingStarWars.net show. And I'm going to try to get my computer put back together. But I've got a job to do too. I got to get paid. I got to pay the bills, keep the lights on, and that's why Lucasfilm, you should hire us.
Yeah,
that way I could do more Star Wars and less.
I don't even play Farmville like your whole PR team. I just do my work usually. It's amazing. I can do that for you.
You can. Yeah. You already know all the things. So, hey, you guys, thanks for hanging out today. And
bye, guys.
We've had a lot of fun. Until next time, my friends. Merry Christmas, and may the Force be with you always. Bye-bye.